The worst deaths caused by pranks. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Worst deaths caused by pranks. Now we all know I'm the nigga that really is like, I hate pranks, especially on YouTube now, because there are the pranks where you smack somebody at Target and you go, I was just playing. Ain't no joke. See me outside, fuck nigga. Really, come outside, because you're not gonna prank this bullet. I'll tell you that much. Without further ado, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get straight into this video.
She been comment me.
On December 21st, 2013, a drunken argument in Pottawatomie County, Oklahoma turned into one of the most bizarre deaths ever recorded. Denver St. Clair, a 58-year-old man, had been drinking with his stepson, 33-year-old Brad Lee Davis. The two had a complicated relationship marked by years of tension and resentment. That night, their conflict escalated. Davis grabbed his stepfather's underwear from behind. What started as a humiliating prank quickly became something.
What the f- I got beef with this nigga. Hold up. We drinking. Sneak attack. Let me wedgie you. Who is this nigga, man?
Far worse. He pulled the elastic waistband upward with violent force, stretching it over St. Clair's head and down around his neck.
No way!
This was what teenagers call an atomic wedgie. A schoolyard joke taken to its extreme limit. But Davis didn't stop pulling. The elastic band tightened around St. Clair's throat. What had been an act of anger and humiliation transformed into strangulation. St. Clair couldn't breathe. He clawed at the fabric, digging into his neck, but the elastic was too tight, too deeply embedded in his skin.
Okay.
His airway...
Because I'm trying to picture this. How does it... Oh, so he was wearing whiteies, tighties, because they go like this and they go like that around your cheek. So I guess he put it up and it stretched like the left cheek over, and then it was like that. Okay, see, I just did it for y'all. Now you gotta get it.
The medical examiner later confirmed that death took several minutes. St. Clair remained conscious as oxygen stopped reaching his brain. His face turned red, then purple.
Ooh.
Petechial hemorrhaging appeared in his eyes, tiny blood vessels bursting from the pressure. He fought for air that wouldn't come. Davis stood watching as his stepfather suffocated.
Yeah, kill this nigga.
By the time he realized what he had done, it was too late. The underwear had become a ligature, cutting off blood flow to the brain and compressing the windpipe. St. Clair collapsed to the floor. When police arrived, they found the body still wearing the underwear wrapped around the neck. The elastic waistband had left deep marks.
It was probably like, bro, what happened here? What was y'all doing? What happened? Underwear on his neck? Why are you standing there looking like that?
Matched the pattern perfectly. The autopsy listed cause of death as asphyxiation by ligature strangulation. The weapon was a pair of underwear. Davis was arrested and later convicted of first-degree manslaughter.
Thank you.
The Bigfoot hoaxer.
Because what you got going in your head, man?
On August 26, 2012, Randy Tenley stood in the middle of U.S. Highway 93 near Kalispell, Montana.
Let me guess. The first one wouldn't have happened to me, because if a nigga try and grab my boxers and I'm swiftly with the... Y'all remember like 3 years ago, the safety guy who was like, that's me. And I wouldn't do that to nobody, because I look like wedging somebody as a grown man. 32?
It was after dark. The 44-year-old wore a full military-style ghillie suit, a camouflage outfit covered in shaggy strips of fabric designed to make a person invisible in natural surroundings. His plan was simple. He wanted to create a Bigfoot sighting, to scare passing drivers and hopefully make the local news. His friends waited on the shoulder of the road, watching as Tenley positioned himself in the traffic lane. Cars approached in the darkness. The ghillie suit worked exactly as designed. Against the black pavement and night sky, Tenley was nearly impossible to see. He looked like a shadow, a vague shape that didn't register as human until it was too late. The first car came fast. The driver never saw him. There were no brake lights, no swerving, no attempt to stop. The vehicle struck Tenley at highway speed, throwing...
Oh, the very first car? Oh, shit. We didn't even get to scare one family, huh?
Down the road. The impact broke bones and caused severe trauma.
Oh, look at his legs. Look at his legs. Look at his legs. Oh, GG. You'll never walk again.
It wasn't immediately fatal. He lay on the pavement, injured and unable to move. Seconds later, a second car approached. The driver had no warning, no time to react. The headlights illuminated Tenley's body only at the last moment. The car ran over him. This impact finished what the first had started. The crushing force caused massive internal injuries. His chest cavity collapsed. Organs ruptured. Death came quickly after the second strike.
Because you wanted to be Bigfoot.
His friends ran from the roadside, screaming for help. When police arrived, they explained...
Both his friends bald? This is a weird friend group. Two bald people and one that's playing dress up. That's what you get.
In the Bigfoot hoax, investigators found no skid marks from either vehicle. Both drivers never saw what they hit until impact. The ghillie suit had worked too well. Tenley died invisible on a dark Montana highway.
Nigga became a speed bump. Oh shit! Roby got a little bumpy. That's how it was in the car.
The deadly ding dong ditch.
That wouldn't happen to me because I'm not dressing up. For me, I wouldn't think I would get hit by a car. I would be thinking someone's gonna think I'm actually Bigfoot, and someone's actually going to shoot me. So I wouldn't have died.
On January 19th, 2020, 6 teenagers drove through a quiet neighborhood in Corona, California. They had just pulled off a classic prank, ringing the doorbell at Anurag Chandra's home and running back to their car. It was Ding Dong Ditch, harmless fun that teenagers had been doing for generations. Among them were Daniel Hawkins, Jacob Ivoscu, and Drake Ruiz. But Chandra didn't see it as harmless. He was enraged. Within seconds, he got into his car and began chasing them. What started as a
jumped in the car.
Became a high-speed pursuit through residential streets. Chandra accelerated to 99 miles per hour, weaving between parked cars and through intersections. The teenagers tried to escape, their driver pushing the car faster, but Chandra stayed close behind. The chase lasted several minutes. Chandra pulled alongside the teen's vehicle.
That's a 98 Honda Civic, ain't it? And the one on the left could be the exact same model, or if it's not, it will be a BMW.
He didn't just follow them. He deliberately rammed their car with his own. The impact forced them off the road. At that speed, the driver had no chance to regain control. The car veered sharply, left the pavement, and slammed into a tree. The collision was brutal. The tree punched through the passenger compartment, metal crumpled inward. The 3 sitting in the back died instantly from the impact. Their bodies were thrown against seatbelts with enough force to cause fatal internal injuries. The tree had essentially cut through the vehicle's structure, crushing everything in its path. The other 3 teenagers survived with serious injuries. Chandra stopped at the scene and was arrested immediately. He was later charged with 3 counts
The Pringle Man! He looked like the Pringle Man!
Of murder. A doorbell prank had ended in triple homicide. 3 families lost their sons because a grown man couldn't control his rage over a momentary annoyance. Chandra was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility.
Life from in California? Oh, yeah. I mean, you take one life, you get 15 years, 22 years. That's another life. That's another 22. That's life, gang.
Ability of parole. The Royal Radio prank in early December 2012.
That wouldn't happen to me because I'm the type, if shit gets crazy on the road, I'm pulling clean over. I don't care. My life is worth too much. Dead ass. I'm not the person you could speed up behind, and I'm like, oh shit, they're behind me. Let me speed up. Nah, go. I literally get over and get past me. I'm gonna stay that same speed. Go around me. I don't really care. That's how I am.
Was working her shift as a nurse at King Edward VII Hospital in London. The hospital was treating Kate Middleton, who was pregnant with her first child. That morning, the phone rang at the nurse's station. Saldana answered. On the other end were 2 Australian radio hosts pretending to be Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Charles. They asked for information about Kate's condition. Saldana believed the impersonation was real. She transferred the call to another nurse who gave details about the royal patient's medical status. The entire conversation was recorded. Within hours, the radio station broadcast it internationally. The prank became global news. Saldana's voice was heard by millions of people around the world. The hospital launched an internal investigation. Media coverage intensified. Saldana felt crushing shame and guilt. She believed she had betrayed patient confidentiality, failed the royal family, and humiliated her hospital. The weight of public exposure became unbearable. She couldn't escape the knowledge that her mistake had been broadcast worldwide and replayed endlessly across news channels. Over the next few days, her mental state deteriorated rapidly. She wrote 3 notes expressing her guilt and shame. On December 7th, just days after the prank call, Saldana was found dead in her nursing accommodation. She had chosen to leave by hanging. Colleagues discovered her body. The news sparked international outrage. The radio station suspended both hosts indefinitely. Questions arose about whether a prank call could be considered.
Nah, what the? So when she was alive and going through it and it was going around, it was, oh, keep it running. Like TMZ, it was like this. It was like this. We on that. What do we got? You, go. They said we just pranked this girl, she told us about this patient confidentiality, perfect, run it. Oh, that one went viral. 6.6 million views and it's still getting played every single day. Good. As soon as she take her life, it's, you know what? That was a bad call last week. We're going to suspend these 2. You know what? Fire these 2. What?
responsible for someone's death. Legal experts debated culpability, but for Saldana's family, the cause was clear. A joke meant for entertainment had created such overwhelming shame that a dedicated nurse saw no way forward except to end her own life. The prank call had lasted minutes. Its consequences were permanent.
R.I.P. Saldana in the chat.
Pool. On February 29th, 2020, a birthday party was underway in Moscow, Russia. The celebration was for Katerina Didenko, a social media influencer with a large following. Her husband, 32-year-old Valentin Didenko, was among the guests gathered around an indoor swimming pool. Someone had planned a visual spectacle to make the party memorable. They would dump dry ice into the pool to create a dramatic fog effect. Partygoers carried more...
See, I know about dry ice. Dry ice, you need oxygen. Or they're outside, right? You should be straight if you're outside. If you're indoor, you're done. Because it's going to be CO2. You will literally die in minutes.
Than 60 pounds of dry ice to the pool's edge. They dumped it into the warm water all at once. The reaction was immediate and spectacular. Thick white fog erupted from the pool, rolling across the surface and spilling onto the deck. Guests cheered and laughed. Several people, including Valentin, jumped into the pool to swim through the fog. But dry ice is frozen carbon dioxide. When it sublimates in warm water, it releases massive amounts of CO2.
Yeah, dry ice in cold water makes smoke. Dry ice in warm water makes clouds. CO2 clouds, right? Or carbon, not monoxide, it's carbon dioxide. But you need oxygen. You breathe in oxygen, let out carbon dioxide. The whole air is carbon dioxide. You can't breathe in oxygen. You will genuinely pass out and die, especially this bald one right here. This bald one's probably going to be the last one alive.
Gas. Carbon dioxide is heavier than air. It sinks and displaces oxygen. The gas was invisible, odorless, and filled the indoor space rapidly. The swimmers in the pool suddenly couldn't breathe. There was no smoke, no visible danger, just the absence of oxygen where air should have been. Valentin and 2 others lost consciousness almost immediately. Their bodies went limp in the water. Other guests tried to help but began collapsing themselves as they entered the gas plant. Confusion spread through the room. People gasped for air that wasn't there. The decorative fog had become a suffocating blanket of carbon dioxide. Emergency responders arrived within minutes, but 3 people were already dead, including Valentin. Several others required hospitalization for asphyxiation. The autopsy confirmed carbon dioxide poisoning. Ekaterina had lost her husband at her own birthday party. A prank meant to create beautiful photographs had displaced all the oxygen in the room and killed 3 people in minutes. The initiation impalement.
Damn, see that one right there, you don't even think of that. I'm not gonna lie, that could happen to me. That could have happened to me. But I was a youngin'. I was a smart Igga growing up. I was watching Crazy Russian Hacker growing up. So I knew what dry ice did. I was watching Steve Spangler. I was watching the King of Random. I know a little something about science.
On June 6, 1892, Wilkins Rustin stood on a street in New Haven, Connecticut, surrounded by members of the Delta Kappa Epsilon fraternity at Yale University. The sophomore was undergoing initiation, a ritual that was common and largely unregulated in that era. His fraternity brothers had prepared a test. They tied a blindfold tightly around his eyes. He could see nothing. They instructed him to run at full speed down the city street. Other members would watch and laugh. Rustin had no choice but to trust them. He began running, relying only on sound and the feeling of pavement under his feet. He sprinted blindly through the darkness, disoriented and unable to judge distance or direction. His fraternity brothers watched from the sidewalk as he gained speed. A horse-drawn carriage sat stationary on the street.
Oh, this nigga done stabbed himself.
See it. He ran directly into the carriage at full force. A sharp wooden pole jutted from the vehicle's frame. The pole penetrated his abdomen. The impact drove it deep into his body, puncturing through his intestines. And
oh my gosh.
He was conscious, aware, impaled on the wooden shaft. His fraternity brothers rushed forward and removed the blindfold. They saw the pole extending through his body. He was taken immediately to medical care, but doctors in 1892 had limited ability to treat such injuries.
1892? Did I miss the time? Yale was there in 1892? Am I stupid? What am I missing? I'm missing something.
The punctured intestines leaked bacteria into his abdominal cavity. Peritonitis developed, an infection spreading through his abdomen that 19th century medicine could not stop. Rustin endured 5 days of agony. Fever consumed him. The pain intensified as sepsis spread through his system. His body slowly shut down from the infection. On June 11th, 1892...
Oh my goodness. No, that's not my sister's birthday? No, it's June. No, that is my sister's birthday.
Wilkins Rustin died. A single moment of blindfolded running had resulted in a slow death by infection, all in the name of fraternity tradition.
I was confused because I didn't know I didn't know they had like line. You see, I didn't know they had lineups back then, so I was confused. He got a lineup.
Gorge. On October 14th, 1873, Mortimer Leggett stood with other pledges near a railroad trestle in Ithaca, New York. He was pledging the Kappa Alpha Society at Cornell University.
Hey, all this would have never happened to me because first, I'm not joining no fraternity, frat, whatever, sorority, sorcerer. I'm not joining that shit. Second off, when they told me to run, I would have ran and tripped. Like I was running so fast and I'm just uncoordinated. I would have tripped and then got up and tripped again and got up and tripped. I would have looked first, like, where am I going? Okay, cool. Tripped. All right, you did it. You're good. You good. That's what I would do.
Fraternity had chosen a location known for its danger, a narrow railroad bridge that crossed high above a deep gorge. It was night. Members of the fraternity prepared their initiation ritual. They tied blindfolds around the eyes of each pledge, including Leggett. Complete darkness. The pledges were led onto the trestle and instructed to walk across. They could feel only the wooden railroad ties beneath their feet and empty space on either side. The bridge was narrow. One wrong step meant to fall into the gorge below. Balance became difficult without vision. Fraternity members stood watching as the blindfolded pledges moved forward slowly. Disoriented and terrified, Leggett stepped carefully, trying to find solid ground with each footfall. His sense of direction failed him. He misjudged where the edge was. His foot missed the tie and met only air. His body tipped sideways. He fell over the edge of the trestle. The blindfold remained tied around his eyes as he dropped. He fell through darkness he couldn't see, not knowing what was below or how far he would fall. The descent lasted several seconds. He hit the rocks and water at the bottom of the gorge.
Oh my god. Oh!
The impact fractured his skull. His bones shattered.
That right there sends you back to the spirit world like this. Look. Boom. You go. You see all the previous avatars. Roku, Korra. That right there.
Internal organs ruptured from the collision. Death was instant. When they recovered his body from the gorge, the blindfold was still tied securely around his eyes. Mortimer Leggett had died without ever seeing what killed him.
They replaying it. Even a stick figure making my hair.
But hazing practices continued despite his death. A trust exercise designed to test courage had become an execution, and a young man fell to his death while his fraternity brothers watched from above.
I don't
the
get
Vaseline
these.
stop sign. On August 17th, 2011, two teenagers in rural Pickaway County, Ohio, decided to pull a prank on passing drivers. They took petroleum jelly and plastic wrap to a stop sign at a quiet intersection. They smeared the jelly thickly across the sign's surface and wrapped it in clear plastic. At night, the sign became completely invisible. Drivers would approach the intersection with no warning to stop. The teens wanted
So you telling me, real quick, you telling me I'm passing a red octagon and I can't see it. I can't see this red. Something's over this red stop sign. I don't know what it is. So I guess it's not a stop sign no more.
Watch the confusion as cars rolled through without stopping. That evening,
you gotta use some
80-year-old
context
Jean
clues,
Shea was driving with her sister, 85-year-old Mary Spangler, in the passenger seat.
Okay,
they
unless
were
you're
traveling
old.
on familiar rural roads they had driven for years. As they approached the vandalized intersection, Shea saw nothing to indicate she should stop. The sign was there, but the petroleum jelly and plastic wrap made it impossible to see in the darkness. She drove through at normal speed. An SUV was approaching from the perpendicular road.
No,
that driver had the
T-bone.
right of way. He saw Shea's car not stopping and tried to brake, but there wasn't enough time. The SUV struck the passenger side of the car at full speed. It was a T-bone collision. The impact crushed the passenger door inward. Metal crumpled directly into where Spangler sat. She absorbed the full force of the collision. At 85 years old, her body couldn't withstand the blunt trauma. Her ribs shattered. Internal organs were damaged beyond repair. She died instantly from the impact. Shea survived with injuries, but lost her sister. Police found the teenagers shortly after. The petroleum
See, this is
jelly...
what I be saying when you driving and you almost get in a car accident. I be like, when I'm driving and someone's in my car, I'm like, you almost got in an accident. If someone keeps going and they almost hit us, I'm like, you almost got in an accident. Like, what do you mean we're in the same car? I'm like, nah, because you gonna take the hit. I'm gonna be in here like this. Probably have a headache, broken arm or something like that. You're probably dying. Dead ass.
Was still smeared across the stop sign, evidence of what they had done. They were arrested and charged.
Life.
A simple prank designed to cause momentary confusion had made a stop sign invisible and sent an elderly woman through an intersection to death.
They need life.
If you want to see more videos...
Hey man, that's a W video. WWW video. Appreciate you. What? Appreciate you guys for watching. Tap into my videos. Go tap in. I drop more than one video a day. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm gonna see you on the next one. I'm going.